Every clean shot you eat in sparring is a footwork problem, not a reflex problem. In this video, you will learn 3 angle exits that move you off the center line, why your footwork collapses under real pressure, and how to chain movements so your defense works in sparring, not just when your coach is holding the mitts. I have trained both stances, drilled these exits with coaches who have worked with competitive fighters, and tested every one of them in live rounds. What I am about to show you is not theory. The center line problem. Here is what is happening every time you eat a clean shot. You are standing exactly where your opponent aimed. Most fighters move straight back under pressure. It feels safe. It feels like distance. But straight back is the worst direction you can go. Straight back keeps you directly on the center line, the invisible line running from your opponent's rear hand straight to your face. You are retreating, but you are still at point B, and your opponent is at point A. The punch only has to travel the same distance it was always going to travel. Here is what the data from sparring footage shows consistently. The majority of clean power shots land on fighters who are either standing still or moving directly backward at the moment of impact. The punch finds them because they stayed on the line. Put yourself in a real round. Pressure comes. You move back. Your opponent walks you to the ropes. You cover up. You eat the shot. You call it a reflex problem. It was a positioning problem the whole time. If you move straight back every time pressure comes, you are doing your opponent's targeting for them. You are staying inside the angle their power hand was already set to hit. The fix is not faster hands. It is not a better guard. It is moving to a position your opponent was not aiming at before the punch leaves their shoulder. That is what the next chapter is about. The 3 angle exits. 3 exits. You need all 3. Here is why, and here is exactly how each one works. Exit 1. The outside step. Your opponent throws a jab. Instead of moving straight back, you step your lead foot 45 degrees to the outside, off the center line and beside them. The evidence is in the geometry. From the outside position, your opponent's rear cross has to travel across their own body to reach you. Their jab already missed. You now have a clean look at exposed ribs or chin, and they have to reset their feet before they can do anything. Picture a southpaw stepping outside a right jab. One step, the jab sails past. Now their right side is open and their back foot has not moved yet. That is a half-second window. At the elite level, that is enough for a clean left hook to the body. If you only drill one exit, make it this one. It is the highest percentage defensive move in boxing, and it creates an immediate counter opportunity every single time. Exit 2. The inside pivot. Your opponent throws a cross. You pivot on your lead foot, rotating your body 45 to 90 degrees to the inside. This one feels wrong the first time you try it. That is how you know it is working. You are stepping toward the punch side, which your instincts will fight. But the rotation moves your head off the line before the cross arrives. And where it puts you is the position most fighters never expect. Partially behind your opponent, their combinations disrupted, their back foot anchored in the wrong direction. Manny Pacquiao used the inside pivot consistently at elite level, not as a flashy move, but as a systematic way to get to his opponent's left side, where his straight left landed clean. The pivot is not advanced footwork. It is geometry applied deliberately. The catch: this exit requires more timing than the outside step. Drill it on the mitts until the rotation is automatic before you take it into sparring rounds. Exit 3. The lateral reset. Not every exchange needs a sharp angle. Sometimes you just need to break the rhythm. A direct lateral step, left or right, no angle, shifts your position without committing to a direction. It is fast, low risk, and disrupts your opponent's targeting when they are finding a groove on you. Use the lateral reset when you do not have a read on what is coming. Use the outside step and pivot when you do. The mistake most fighters make: they find one exit they like and ignore the other 2. Your opponent adjusts. Patterns get solved. If you only move one way, they will wait for it. You need all 3 available so your movement stays unreadable. You now have 3 exits, but knowing them and being able to use them when someone is actually throwing at you, those are completely different things. Quick question before we get into the next section. Drop a comment below. Which of these 3 exits have you been using in sparring without realizing it had a name? I read every comment, and I want to know where you are starting from.
Why footwork breaks down under pressure. Here is the most common thing I see happen. A fighter drills the outside step perfectly on the mitts. Coach is pleased. Footwork looks sharp. Then the sparring round starts, and the exits disappear completely. The fighter covers up, moves straight back, takes the shot they just spent 20 minutes learning to avoid. This is not a discipline problem. It is a reflex problem, and it has a specific cause. Under pressure, your nervous system defaults to what it has practiced most. For most fighters, what they have practiced most is standing still and covering up. The gym rewards landing punches. It rarely rewards the exit that prevented the punch from landing. There was a second issue layered underneath that. If your base stance is off, weight too far back, feet too wide, knees locked, your first step is always late. You are already behind the punch before your foot moves. The exit is correcting your head. Your body just cannot execute it fast enough from that position.
If your footwork only works on the mitts, you have not drilled it under pressure yet. That is the whole problem. 2 drills fix this, and you can run both in your next session. Drill 1, slow sparring. Half speed, full contact intent. Your partner throws real combinations at reduced pace. You practice exits in real time without the full consequence of being a half-second late. The evidence for slow sparring is well established in motor learning research. Practicing a movement at reduced speed with full cognitive attention builds the same neural pathways as full-speed execution, but with far more room to correct errors before they become habit. If you spar at full speed before the exit is automatic, you are drilling the wrong pattern under pressure. Slow sparring lets you build the right one. Drill 2, direction calls. Have your coach or partner call outside, pivot, or lateral while you are shadowboxing or doing light pad work. You respond to the call, not to a preset sequence. This trains reactive footwork, not choreographed footwork. It is the difference between a movement you can perform and a movement you can access. You want the exits to be available on demand, not only when you set them up yourself. Run both drills for 3 rounds each in your next session. The exits will start appearing in live sparring within 2 weeks. But there is one more layer that most fighters never reach, and it is what makes elite defensive footwork look effortless to everyone watching.
The twist. Chaining angles. 1 angle exit is useful. 2 consecutive angle exits is control. Most fighters treat each exit as a single response. 1 move, then reset to center. Wait for the next attack. That gives your opponent time to recalibrate. Their feet catch up. They re-establish the center line, and the exchange resets on even terms. Elite defensive fighters do not give that time back. They exit to an angle, and before the opponent's feet catch up, they move to the next position. The defender is always somewhere unexpected. It looks like supernatural reflexes. It is sequencing. Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s defensive movement is the clearest example at the highest level. He does not use 1 exit and reset. He uses the outside step to get to the angle, reads the opponent's adjustment, and immediately shifts again before they can recenter. The opponent spends the entire round chasing a position that is always already gone. You do not need Mayweather's level to apply this. Start simple. Outside step, then lateral reset. That is the chain. Exit the jab angle with the outside step. Then, before your opponent's feet reset, take 1 lateral step to break the rhythm further. 2 movements. The opponent has to solve 2 problems instead of 1. Their recalibration time doubles. Your counter window stays open longer. Once that chain is automatic, add the pivot as a 3rd option. Now you have combinations of movement, not just individual exits.
That is the real lesson here. Defensive footwork is not about reacting faster. It is about being somewhere better before the punch is thrown. If this changed how you think about movement, subscribe. Because next week, I am going into combination defense. How to read and interrupt a 3-punch combo before the 3rd shot lands. Footwork gets you to the right position. Combination defense is what you do once you are there.
If this video opened your eyes, next week's will change how you spar. I will see you there.